Hello, everyone. We're judging from, are we room 3? Room 4 at the Australian Professional Photography Awards. And guess what? We're about to start the newborn category. We, as judges, have just seen a run-through of some most amazing pictures, so we know that we've got some absolutely excellent work coming up. What else we've got here is some absolutely excellent judges in the room. Okay, but my name is Janet Craig and I'll be the panel chair for this session. And our scribe is Greg Farmer. Not his first rodeo, I have heard. This is my first rodeo, being panel chair of Australian Professional Photography Awards. I have done it in Western Australia in the past, but this is a first foray for me, but not for you. Is that right, Greg? Okay. And we have got some print handlers out the back, a slew of very amazing. Look, we've got little gloves floating through the air. It's all happening down here. We've got Marina, Naomi, Emily, and Tiff. Okay, so we have got on our panel today Dean Mansbridge. Yes, Dean is a master photographer from Hobart. Dean has 1 gold bar. And Dean, day to day, you photograph newborns?
I do. On average, maybe 1 or 2 a week, mostly in the context of a family portrait shoot in my studio in Hobart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Is that good?
Right beside Dean is Sarah McKenna. Now, Sarah, you're from Queensland and you have got your masters, and no stranger to the newborn category either. No, excellent. Right next to Sarah is Alan Moyle. Alan, I've seen you judge newborn in Western Australia before and have done a stellar job. You'd like to say something?
No.
Yeah. We're going to be hearing a lot from you, though. I just know it. Now, Alan is from Melbourne and has 3 gold bars. So welcome on the panel, Alan. Also on our panel is the beautiful Natalie Howe. Now, Natalie is from, where are you from? New South Wales. Now, Natalie is also no stranger to the newborn category, having won the newborn category in 2016. Yes, so welcome to the panel. Yes, we love having you here in your hometown. Okay, and sitting right next to Natalie is our Catherine Williams from NZ. Now, Catherine is a grandmaster photographer. She is also the current New Zealand Photographer of the Year. My goodness, we've got Talent Plus here. Right, and also on backup, we've got the most beautiful Kylie Lyons. Yeah, and Kylie is also in her hometown of New South Wales and a master photographer with 1 gold bar and lots of bling. Yeah. And Mark Rosetto. I did it right. I got the name right. Kylie got it wrong. Okay, eyes forward, judges. Okay, we are judging the single capture in the newborn category. Let's get started. Okay, first print, please. Did that do it? Judging the newborn category, single capture at the Australian Professional Photography Awards, and we are sponsored by Camera House. And our scores are rolling in, and we have a 79. Now, there's no room for judges to challenge this image, so I will ask for a comment from Natalie. Thank you, Natalie.
Yeah, beautiful capture and beautiful little storyline. I'd just ask if the photographer can just look at the skin tones of the baby. The shadowing is quite grey, and also just the positioning of Bub. The head looks a little tiny disjointed from the body, the way the pose is.
Beautiful, thanks, Natalie. And I'll have a blank screen. Good, because we only had one single capture. Oh, we'll go for review, yeah. So we did get a 79. So we'll go for review, and yeah, so it's not like it's the State Awards where 79 is 79 and there's no chance of an 80. So there's a chance of an 80 there. Okay. While we're waiting, I think we'll just read the category preamble. I think you've all judged at State Awards, but I think, you know, in light of the fact that we have got a lot of open pictures coming through, we'll just listen to what the category encompasses. Mark and Kylie, can you listen forward? Because I think it's quite important that we actually listen to the category preamble. Okay, the category is intended for imagery of infants up to 3 months of age. The judges will reward excellence in lighting, posing, composition and camera technique. The newborn category will be judged in 2 sections, newborn open and newborn single capture. The category is judged in 2 sections to assist the judges in their assessment. However, there will only be 1 award. Newborn is defined as an infant up to 3 months of age, calculated from the date of delivery if full term, 37 to 42 weeks, or from the due date if premature. Entries into this category must be commissioned by the family or families of the newborn depicted in the entry. The entry does not have to be the photograph that was sold to the client, but it must be taken from the same photography session. Images of the entrant's immediate family are prohibited. Images may contain other people, including family members, pets or animals, so long as the newborn is one of the key elements in the composition. All the titches are permitted in both sections. Okay, so we've done with newborn single capture, but newborn open, entrants may utilise all post-production techniques, including multiple images or elements in producing their entry. Okay, so we're all clear. Okay. So we'll take a little break, and we'll wait for our start from out the back. First win in the open category. And as our scores come winging in, the entry has scored 80, but 79 by majority. And we've got a hand racing up in the air. Dean Mainsbridge is on 86. Now, Dean, I'll just let you know that you have an 81, 78, 78 and 76 to work with.
Yep. Wonderful. Guys, this little story is very simple. It's very sweet. There's a real subtlety that really pushed me over the line, and that was in the timeline that we can see here. So my understanding is that the hands that we can see belong to an older sibling, like a young child, who is holding on to these little ornaments of a sibling lost. Fast forward, those hands have grown up a little bit bigger. And now they're nurturing the new sibling, who's just very peacefully positioned in there, very comfortably in the hands of the older sibling. I think for me, the way that it's been displayed is new and simple, and I'm happy, and I would like us to be able to reward simplicity in this particular picture. So I'm asking for a silver distinction.
Well, you've got someone else in the silver. But let's see, Sarah, you're on 76.
I read the image in the exact same way that you have, and it is lovely. For me, it is. It's not a new concept, and it's very lovely in the execution. The lighting's lovely. The handling of the skin tones are really lovely. The feet could have been like the I was going to say plaster cast, the gold cast of the hand and foot could have been placed a bit differently to give them a little bit more of just the graphic nature of having the little toes rather than having the cut-off ankle. But for me, this is quite good professional practice.
Okay. And Natalie, you're on 78?
Yeah, I think this is a beautiful capture, and I agree with Dean. The story is gorgeous, and the story is very delicate, but I'm actually not finding the lighting to match that delicate storyline. So for me, although the lighting is beautiful, I feel like it just needs to be a little bit softer to match in with that storyline. The shadow's a little bit warmer, and I would have taken it up to a silver.
Okay, thanks, Natalie. And Catherine, you've scored it in the silver range.
So, in support of Dean there, the story that I can add to this is the young child is putting the baby on a pedestal, and that's what siblings do when they honour that they're having a baby, and this baby becomes everything to them. And so we see this pedestal shape, and then on the baby on the right, we see the egg sort of shape, and the entanglement, which is how I see siblings. There is an entanglement of all the limbs and the hands and the fingers that they really connect, and that draws it all in together into a beautiful wee story.
Beautiful. And right of reply, Dean?
Thanks, Catherine. I think that was excellently well said. I don't have too much more to add. I think we can easily push this into the silver range. It got a 79, the actual score, is that right? So I'm really not asking for great things here, guys. I'm comfortable with it being that little bit higher. I hope you're comfortable enough on content and on the professional level of skill here that we can push it into the award range.
Pure. I'll invite you to hold your score. Thanks, Dean, and to rescore our other judges. And the entry has scored 82, a silver award. Well done, judges. A bit of movement there, and that's good. Okay, next print, please. and the entry has scored 78. Okay, and a comment. Yeah, Dean.
Frustratingly, this is just let down by an inconsistency in exposure, I think, and there's an inconsistency also in the perhaps the professionalism of the actual captures. There's some that are beautifully lit, and there's others that are really muddy, like they just don't belong. I think that is too jarring. The concept and the story and the narrative we all get smack bang in the face, and that's done beautifully well. It's just that original capture, the quality has let it down and kept it out today.
Okay, we're seeing a lot of nodding there. Thanks, Kylie, who stepped in for Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. We'll ask you to join the panel again. Okay, and next print, please. Okay, the entry has scored 78. Right. Natalie, you sort of, that snuck into the silver range for you. So a comment?
Yeah, I thought this was a beautiful capture, and the colours are stunning, the skin tones are stunning. I thought this was just, slightly above professional practice in my eyes. I would have went higher, but there was just a little loss of texture in the fur and the wrap on the baby. But congratulations to the photographer.
Great, thank you. Okay, next print, please. Okay, and the entry has scored 77. Yeah, and I'd like a comment for the photographer. Mark, yes, yeah.
Okay, so I scored this a 76. It's one of those things that if you're going to produce such a graphic element like this, that there needs to be purpose. Don't just do it for the sake of trying something tricky. And there's no connection between the elements to make it tell a story, whether it's a pattern or whether it's not a pattern. And then one of the most distracting elements is right in the middle. The baby is kind of like a full opacity, where the rest is all kind of not full opacity. And then you go, well, why do that? Like, it's just kind of a distracting element. So in terms of thinking outside the box, awesome. But in terms of execution, it just needs some work.
Good. Okay. Thanks, Mark Rosetto. Stepping in for Dean Mansbridge. Okay. And our next print, please. Okay, and the entry has scored 78. Yes, and a comment from Natalie?
Yeah, gosh, there's so much to love about this image. Everything that needs to be sharp is sharp. For me to take it into the award range, I would have liked to seen a little bit more finessing with the baby. The bottom seems to be closer than the head. Also, we're losing the detail of the baby's face. The lighting's just a little bit harsh on Barb, and also the shadows are just a little cool. So if you address that, this image could go a long way.
Ah, excellent. It's like a newborn seminar here at on our judging panel. After those great comments, Natalie, though, if you just have a little rest, and Kylie Lyons, if we could have you on the panel. Yeah, welcome to the panel, Kylie Lyons. Okay, next print, please. So that was, yeah, that's it. I have done this on the state, and Natalie went, and we just need to go a cut for Kylie. Update. And we have a silver award, 80. Whew. Okay, and quite consistent there with 80, 82, 84, 78 and 77. Yeah, so 82, how about that? Okay, we would like a comment. Is anyone chafing at the bit to have a little chat? Dean, go on, go
I'm
ahead.
not exactly chafing, but I think I can love to congratulate the photographer. It's quite a very effective use of the props that tell us something about all of the little things that are important to this little child. I think that has been very effectively communicated and very precisely put together. The image of the baby itself is a bit weaker, I think. It's a very stark sort of lighting and a not convincingly comfortable child. So I think had that been captured in a better, more believable kind. I don't know, more. I'm struggling for the word. I'm sorry, but a little bit more finesse with the gentleness of the subject and the lighting would have been better and elevated it more convincingly.
Great. Thanks, Dean. Great comments. Okay, next print. And we have a silver award, 82. Excellent. Very solid judging there, judges. And yeah, Kylie, thank you.
I think there's a really good separation of the baby from the background, so the lighting has been used very, very well. And I think what snuck it into silver for me is when you read the flour, the coffee and the rice, it tells you its location. So I'm hoping that that's got some connection to the baby of its, its ancestry and things, because on the baby's little satchel, it tells you where and when it was born. So I think it's actually beautifully cropped and well done, silver.
Yep. Congratulations to the entrant. Okay, next print. And the entry has scored 78. We do have a couple of our judges in the silver range. Sarah,
No, just because I've scored higher, I'm like, okay. The narrative is really quite lovely. The earth, wind, fire, water, and jewelry. I'm not sure what the fifth element is. I can't recall. And the balance. I really do enjoy the vine going around, tied in with Bubby holding it, and the just the aesthetically pleasing way it's put together. The issues that I have that we could be looked at by the photographer is a bit of skin toning. There's a bit of muddiness on parts of the baby's body, and Bub seems a little bit awkwardly placed, but it still worked well enough for me to give it the score I did.
excellent. Thanks, Sarah. Okay, next print, please. And the entry has scored 80, a silver award. Excellent. Okay, and we haven't heard from you, Alan, yet.
Very well styled shoot. The great lighting, great skin. So all the basic things that we're looking for are done well here. The thing that's distracting, every time you put words into a print, your eyes go straight to it. And the brightest point of this print is actually the thrive. So we do want them to thrive, but we want to see them and not that. So just thinking about where things place in an image can really affect how it scores.
Excellent. Thank you, Alan. Okay, next print, please. And the entries has scored 75. So we're quite solid there in our judging. Everyone sitting in that good professional practice. Anyone wanting to offer a comment? Catherine, love to hear from you.
It's lovely to see an innovative use of the framing here with the long vertical. There is some. It's very hard to see the placement of the baby. We're losing the definition between where the baby's cocooned to the background, and there's a little bit of awkwardness in the baby's positioning that could help resolve this to another level, and just really looking at that finer stage of printing and bringing a little bit more oomph into the detail of the print.
Excellent. Thank you, Catherine. I might do a judge change. Mark Rosetto, are you... It was Carly's fault. Rosetto, I've got you. Okay, Alan, can you have a little rest just for a little while? Don't go too far. Yeah. Mark Rosetto's rejoining the panel, or joining the panel. And we'll have our next print, please. And the entry has scored 75. Now, our judges. Mark.
So I'm right on the score, 75. It's a bit too matter of fact and a little bit awkward. It's just weird, like the egg and then the colour of the baby and the lighting behind it and the way it's put together. It's very, it's very kind of matter of fact. And I just think there's other ways that you can do and execute this in a bit of a softer environment to elevate it.
Great. Thank you, Mark. Okay, next print. And the entry has scored 77. Okay, and yes, thank you, Kylie.
Yeah, my comment to the photographer is it looks like there's two different lighting styles between the actual background and then the babies. So they do look like they're sort of cut and paste. They're not sort of blending, and it comes down to the shadows. So I'd just have a look at the lighting and try and match the two lighting styles.
Excellent. Thanks, Kylie. Catherine, I might give you a little break for the moment. Natalie, how can you come back on and yeah, beautiful. Welcome back to the panel, Natalie. Okay. And everyone's set with no chatting. That's all good. Okay, next print, please. Scores are winging their way in. And we have a 78. Now, we do have a couple of our judges sitting, just scraping into the silver. Natalie, can you have a little chat about the print for the entrant?
Yeah, sure. The colours are stunning and the lighting is beautiful. I really love this little concept of this baby in the nest, and you can see the egg shape. I gave this a silver. I feel it's something a parent probably wouldn't have asked for, but when the photographers delivered it, it's got the wow factor. What made me stay just at 81? I just found there was some cloning issues to the left of the bulb and the brightness on the baby, but I would have actually taken it higher. But yeah, congratulations to the photographer.
Good. Okay. Excellent comments. Thanks, Natalie. Right, next print, please. Okay, well, the entry has scored 79, and I think we've got a little challenge going on because we have got some scores here. Natalie, you've scored at 88. Just before you start, I will let you know that you do have Kylie Lyons at 81, and then you've got to work with a 74, 78, and 76. Take it away, Natalie.
Yeah, so as soon as this image turned around, I mean, I was impacted straight away by the colour palette. The colours are stunning, and the posing. Now, the image size, it did get to me a little, but I looked past that and I thought I've got to judge this based on the image, the lighting, the emotional impact. Now, this is 4 generations of women who have all come together for this little baby. Well, 3 generations of women and a little baby, I'm assuming girl, might be a boy in a gown. But we've got beautiful colours here. We've got, the greens into the purples and the red, and Mum is up the top. And she's hugging her mum, she's hugging her grandmother, and Grandma is just so proud, looking straight at the camera. Everything is in focus, everything is photoshopped perfectly, but it's not over-photoshopped. The skin tones are stunning. There's detail where there needs to be detail. This is a gold image if it was printed on a beautiful fine art paper in my eyes, and it doesn't need to be so big. The image itself is just divine, and this needs to be rewarded.
Okay, so yeah, Sarah, you scored at 78.
I did, for everything that Natalie just said, putting it into good professional practice. For me, I actually, except for the size of the image, I love the size because the whole image harks back to that portrait style where you had that big print on the wall and they were larger than this, they were larger than life. The matriarch looking straight at the camera, beautiful. Bubby's skin on the face, I think, is over-processed, but everything else is exactly why I've got it in very good professional practice.
Okay, yeah, anyone else got anything to Kylie, actually, you were in the award range.
I'm supporting Natalie to a certain extent because I think there has been a lot of work pre-shoot. The photographer has worked with this family to work on colouring, outfits, but I'll need more convincing that skin is not over-processed. I do believe it's a little too soft, and it might be, again, that because we've been talking about the size of the image. But in terms of that connection, that it's the facial expressions for me that I'm rewarding in silver.
Mark wants to have a chat too.
Okay, just I'm not going to add all the other bits and pieces apart from just the size of the hands just look really enormous. Especially the top left-hand side, they just look huge. There's a big green blotch on the top left-hand corner as well, and it's just a little bit too contrived in my eyes.
Okay,
So-
right of reply, Natalie.
It's 100% contrived, like most newborn photos that we see. Now, I feel with the baby's skin, you're being thrown by the texture of the women and their ages. So every other newborn photo we see, the skin is it's retouched like this. It's soft. It's baby bum perfect. But because we've got an elderly woman, a lady in her, probably, I don't know, 60s, and then we've got a younger lady, and they've all got different skin tones. You'd look back at that baby's skin tone and just thinking it's overdone. But this baby's perfect. There's no blemishes. There's no nothing because it's a newborn baby. And as a newborn photographer, we always retouch blemishes out if there is a blemish. Blemishes go. It is a number one rule when it comes to newborn photography. If we are photographing a bub with, a stalk bite or milk pimples, we retouch them out. So, and what's left is perfect newborn skin. The image, yes, 100% contrived. The lighting is stunning. The posing is stunning. The connection is beautiful. This is above this is above professional practice. And I also believe it's above silver. It's just gone that little bit, to me, this is something that should be hanging up quite large in a formal lounge room.
Okay, well, the print did have an average of 79, and Natalie is looking for an silver. She's looking for a strong silver award. Okay, so you hold your score. Thank you, Natalie, and I'll invite the judges to rescore, please. So we have 79 by majority. Yes, so just for those out in the audience, we do need 3 of our judges in the award range. So it did score 81, but 79 by majority because we didn't have 3 judges in the award range. But great discussion and some really great feedback there for the entrant as well. So we can take heart for that. And it's going to next door for review. That's exactly right. So it could live to see another day. That's right. And otherwise, the entrant can join the 79 Club. So there's a win-win. Yeah. Okay. Let's accept that and ask for the next print. Entry has scored 80, has silver award. Excellent. Now, some solid scoring there by our judges. Anyone offering? Dean? Yep.
I think it's cropped beautifully in the circle. Interestingly, we've got a square image here with one distracting corner. So I think this on the digital version, but cropped circle like this works really well. Definitely picked up on the subtlety of the year of the dog clutching onto the bone. That was beautiful. I think the foot for me was strikingly distracting. It's got bold, different sort of colour in skin and pulled away. And we've also got this real light shift from a much brighter background on the top right down to the bottom left, which could have been balanced out a bit to not be distracting. But beautiful work and congratulations for a silver.
Good, good. Thank you. Great comments. Okay, next print, please. So scores wing their way in. I'm seeing a lot of 80s here. Ooh, 82, a silver award. Excellent. Okay. So all our judges are in 80, or in the award range. Okay. Any comment? Yeah, Kylie. Thank you.
The background and the baby blend really beautifully, and I think the background is absolutely divine. In my opinion, if the head perhaps was just tilted a little bit, it looks like we're losing a little bit of the baby's face, just slightly. But in terms of that softness and peacefulness, it's very successful. So congratulations.
Beautiful. And a silver award too. Okay. Next print, please. Okay, the entry has scored 82, a silver award. Okay, so there was some solid judging there. Most of us sitting around the 83, 82. Beautiful. So we'll accept the score. Sarah, would you like to make a comment?
I'd love to. There's been so much care taken with the design elements of this print, the weaving of the green through the dyeing and browned branches. There's a beautiful narrative. The baby hasn't been finessed to as much point as the rest of the image. Bubby has very strong light on, is posed a little bit awkwardly. It just needed to be posed a little bit more softly, bringing it in to make it a more lovely form to bring it up for me.
Okay, thanks for your comments. Now I'm going to wing my way to do some other PPY. So I'm going to invite Gary Cranich. Yeah, I said it right. Gary, to take over. Okay, thanks, Gary. Thank you.
Thanks, Janet. Okay, we are set. Could we have our next print, please? Thank you, judges. And this print has scored a 79. Are we happy to accept that score? Okay. However, there's my favourite word, Natalie. Natalie, can you look at me, please? Let's have a look. Are you going to challenge? You are. Okay. Natalie, you're on 85.
79. Okay, this image is, in my opinion, above professional standard. There is a narrative, there is a story here, and it's very fun and it's very quirky, and we don't have to look at this image too long to actually understand exactly what is being said. Now, The story is not 100% original, but because of that, that's why I didn't go to gold. I went a very strong silver, and this image definitely deserves to be silver. The lighting on all the babies is coming from exactly the same position. All the babies are posed perfectly. We can read the story, and in my opinion, the creative nature of this image, the lighting, the technical ability is above just what we all do every day as a newborn photographer.
Thank you, Natalie. Mark Rosetto, you're on 76. I'm going to hear from you now.
So, obviously, the story is obvious. In terms of the babies, you've got the one trick kind of pose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times if you flip the top left-hand side. It's the same pose kind of 5 times. And then from there, it's like, yes, the story's there, but you've got the one koala down the bottom kind of left. If you're going to do this, like, go really obvious with different things and make it a little bit more unique with the images individually. Like, the lighting's great, the pose is great, the textures are all cool, but it's kind of like, if you're going to go to a story like this, like, be committed and like stick to it all. And the box of the lid is extremely dark, and the babies kind of are really dark compared to the box, and it looks like the babies are just kind of pasted in, which is what they are.
Thank you, Mark. Dean, you're on 82.
I was up there with you, Nat, in the silver range for sure. Yeah, I reckon at first I thought, oh, gee, there's a bit of an inconsistency with the scale of the babies. And then I'm like, hang on. Of course they're all different sizes. They're all different flavours. The bowl that they're in is all exactly the same size. Therefore, it was believable that they're all meant to be the scale that they were. And then I looked at the consistency of everything that Nat talked about and lighting and posing. And I thought for all of those reasons, that's why it does elevate it into a silver. There are only so many ways we can put a baby in a bowl, and that's a part of this concept. So I think they've done well to get enough diversity to tell enough of a story. But all your spices in your spice rack are all for the same purpose. So, you know, that I can believe that. I would have gone a bit higher if the darkness on the background on the right-hand side, and you're probably right, the timber in the top of the box was a little bit lighter. There was a bit more balance there, but I'm definitely very comfortable in silver.
Thank you, Dean. Natalie, we'll come back to you for right or reply.
Yeah, if I can just have the judges, you know, go up just that little bit. This is definitely more than just professional practice. This is an award image, and like what Dean said, there's only so many ways you can pose a baby comfortably and safely all in a bowl, and you do want to create those curves with bub, and you want to be able to have those hands and those feet placed perfectly. Now the lighting is from left to right. That image, the lighting goes from light through to dark, so there is a fall off on the light to the right hand side, and I feel that's consistent with the lighting. And when it comes to the subtle, well, you know, maybe it's a little too subtle, whether it's a box of chocolates or whether it's a box of spices, even with chocolates, you don't really know what you're going to get. They're all just slightly different, but you know what I mean? So they're all, Forrest Gump, they're all just slightly different, and we don't need it punched in the face. We can see the skin tones. We can see that there is different nationalities there. So I don't think there needs to be anything else to show that there is different flavours there.
Okay, thank you, Natalie. Your score of 85 remains. The score is currently 79. Judges, can we please rescore? And Natalie, you have got everybody to an 82, a silver award. No. Okay, thank you, judges. And can we have our next print, please? And we have an 85, which is a silver with distinction. Some very consistent judging there. So, look, basically, I could go to any one of you for a comment here, really. I think I'm going to go to you, Kylie Lyons.
Lovely tonality, and again, from baby to background, there's a beautiful a softness, a sink. I can come out with that word. It's not as if we're cut and paste, and the lighting on the baby's beautiful. Also, different elements around the baby that I've not seen before. So whether that comes back to what we had to eat during pregnancy, I'm not sure. So very well done. Congratulations.
Thank you, Kylie. And could we have our next print, please? Okay, this print has scored a 76. Are we happy with our 76, judges? Happy to accept that? You're going to challenge, Natalie? Yes? Yeah, I'm stalling for you. So Natalie is going to challenge, as I talk slowly for you, Natalie. You are on 82. Far away.
Mouthful of lolly. This is a beautiful concept, and to me, this is going above and beyond for a client. We can see the womb there, and we can see the ovaries and bub, and the baby is posed beautifully and lit beautifully. I've given this a silver. I actually would have even gone higher if the lighting had just been a little bit softer on the baby. But to me, this definitely deserves to be rewarded for its uniqueness and the concept.
Thank you, Natalie. Sarah on 72.
I'm trying to not disagree with you all the time. It is a lovely concept. It's, for me, not innovative. I've seen this concept before. I do like the added orchids as the ovaries. I think that's really sweet and nice coming into the back of Dean's head. Thank you, Dean. Sorry. The baby, for me, though, whilst posed appropriately and awkwardly for the shape that it's in, for the womb, the posing of it has caused too much drop-off in the focus. So the hands and feet for me are very sharp, moving away through the baby's head, the focus drops, and then the lighting drops as well. So the baby's getting lost, the top half of the baby is getting lost in the womb shape. The skin tones through the baby are uneven, I have it in professional practice, and I'm quite happy with where it sits, but I am listening.
Thank you, Sarah. Kylie, you're on 76.
I'm probably leaning towards Sarah's end of the scale. I'm looking at lighting. The hands is what is the brightest, obviously, because it's closest or coming out, and the fall off of that light going into the darkness. If you could address that, Nat, that'd be good.
Natalie?
Yeah, sure. I'm actually not seeing the hands as the brightest part. I'm seeing the face, the hands, and the legs. So that whole area, for me, is the brightest. Now, you can see every eyelash on that baby's face. So there is definitely sharpness on that bub. Now, when it comes to the fall off at the back, if that didn't go down to, if the baby's back of the head didn't just fall off into darkness, we'd be saying the baby looked cut out. So the baby is blending into the darkness of that womb quite nicely. It's perfectly lit. If there was too much brightness around it, we'd be sitting here saying this baby looks cut out. I feel this is a very strong silver image for everything you said, and had all that have been addressed, I actually would have went higher and gone silver distinction. I know that it's not a photo we've never seen before, but for me, this has been executed very well.
Thank you, Natalie. Your score of 82 remains. The score is currently 76. Judges, could we please rescore? And we have a 78, so it's gone up a couple of points. Thank you, judges. Okay, could we have our next print, please? Thank you, judges. Some scores. Okay, this print has scored 84, a silver award. Very consistent judging there. I can go to any one of you. Dean's ready to go. You're spot on 84, Dean.
Yeah, look, congratulations. I think it's a beautiful narrative. So very well captured. Technically, it's excellent. I think it was great printing and all that sort of stuff. Really evident at a really high standard. I held it at the score range that I did because of the way that the baby's sitting really quite tightly constrained in this love heart at the end. I'm not sure that we need the love heart shape at the end. We can feel the love of this family through the journey they've been on in the other elements. It probably didn't need that because it's just a bit constrained and tight within that. That's what kept me back. But excellent and well done.
Okay, thank you, Dean. And print handlers, could I have a blank screen, please? Thank you very much. I'm going to do a judge change. Thank you, Natalie. Catherine Williams, would you like to join us, please? Thank you. Okay, and print handlers, could we have our next print, please? Thank you, team. If you could just hold for a second there for me, judges. Just got a little glitch here. Print handlers, could I just go blank screen for a second? Thank you. Okay, I'm going to have a chat to a couple of people while we just sort out a couple of things here. Catherine, I'm going to have a chat to you. I have no idea what I'm going to ask you, but I've got 10 seconds. First of all, how are you and welcome from New Zealand?
I'm very well. Thank you for the welcome.
That's okay. And now tell me, Catherine, what are you working on at the moment? That's probably the most pertinent question.
I'm working on a project of centenarians across the world, which I'm photographing.
Right, so how long have you been shooting this project? Is this brand new?
I have been shooting it for about a year.
Okay, so and what's going to be your end result with this?
eventually. It's what I call my slow project, just, due to time and funding. And eventually a book and exhibition.
Wow. And another year, another 2 years? What do you think?
I'd say definitely at least another 2 years.
Another 2 years, yeah. Okay, wow. And self-funded and all that sort of thing?
At the moment, it's self-funded.
Yep.
But, over time, I believe that will change.
Okay, yep. And so did you judge at New Zealand Awards this year?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. And
very exciting.
yeah. Did you have some good numbers in New Zealand as well?
We would like more.
Yeah. Okay. And you Christchurch again?
Wellington.
Sorry, Wellington,
yeah.
not Christchurch. Yep. Wellington again. Yeah. But different venue slightly this time, wasn't it, in New Zealand?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we have the conference and judging at the same time.
Okay.
And so normally they are in the same venue, and this time they were split up across different venues.
Good one. Okay. All right. I'm going to ask someone else a question now, because you can tell I'm feeling even more as I look at a blank screen in front of me. Has anyone else got a project they're working on at the moment they want to talk about? No? Anything new? New things happening? Mark Rosetto, you got any new new chats that you're doing at the moment?
New what, sorry?
Yeah, some of your business
New things. Okay.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of new things in the way of development with the photographic industry going into marketplace for the domestic market to get kind of family portraits and weddings. That one of the main things that you need to be is that really creative with your marketing, because those traditional marketing strategies aren't doing a good return on investment like they used to. So the people that are getting quite creative with their marketing and connecting and engaging their clients are the ones who are getting booked out at the moment.
Okay.
Excuse me. We've just had a chocolate.
That's all right.
Sorry. And I put a kind of like a challenge out the other day. Who can generate the most amount of leads in the shortest amount of time?
Right.
And we had anything between 15 leads to maybe about 800 within about 72 hours.
Right.
So it's just down to very clever and structured marketing.
So are you coaching those people on that method?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yep. And the
Okay.
results are fantastic. Everyone has a different stride and a different way of doing kind of things as well. Some people love to talk on the phone. Some people love to email. Some people love to do your Facebook kind of bots and automate. And it all comes down to your personality and the personality of your business and how you want to connect with your clients and how you kind of reach them.
Yeah. So when you're talking to your clients like that, is your approach, you first of all find out what fits for them and then try to work it?
Exactly. Find out what suits them and their personality type, because if they're a phone kind of person, they then kind of jump on the phone. If they're not, there's definitely other ways. But I guess the underlying strategy behind it all is really good client education on the website from the very start is the key to helping your clients understand what your client experience is about and what you offer. And you can be transparent and you can be open and you can be honest, and it's just a nicer way of doing business rather than some traditional kind of ways to get them in first and see how I go. Okay. So just be open and just be honest and be transparent, and the results will be coming through because they like you, because you are the best you that you can be.
Yeah. So the web presence and consistency across message on the web is where you start with them.
Exactly. Like you need to be seen 7 times. So whether it's the web and the websites and fundraiser, the uniform we wear, the email campaigns that we do, just a matter of being seen by your clients is the most important kind of thing, because you can have the website in the world. And if we all remember back to when we got our website for the first time and we spent weeks and months trialing it and testing it, and then you finally went live because everyone's going to see it. And when you went live, the phone rings. And generally, it's your mum congratulating you on the new website. So, it's about being seen and connecting with your clients.
Cool. Thank you, Mark.
And your mum.
what we're going to do, judges, now, thank you for that chat. We could have kept going for hours, but I'm sure everyone in the room wants to see photographs. So we can continue this at the bar later, shall we? Yeah. Okay. So, judges, what I'd like you to do now, I'm going to get that print back that we had. Print handlers, could I have that print back? You can go back if you like now and have another look. There we go. And we'll go from there. Thank you. Okay, this print has scored 83, a silver award. Okay, and Dean, I'm going to go to you for a comment. You're spot on 83, yeah.
I've really enjoyed the little play of this, turning this beautiful little subtle creature into this butterfly-shaped beautiful little subtle creature that's sort of flourishing, and it's almost like a glimpse into the future. I think it's a very strong composition, thought process, and beautifully well printed, so congratulations.
Right. Thank you, Dean. Nice and sharp with your comments. Well done. And could we have our next print, please? Okay, judges, some scores would be nice. In they come. And we have an 81, a silver award. Okay, Kylie, I'm going to go to you on 82, I think. Yeah.
Beautifully printed. Lovely harmony within the colour and the space. For me, a little bit more extension onto the right-hand side. And I have a feeling when you compare the digital image to that, in framing, the matting has probably just come over the image, so she's looking quite tight within the frame. Just have a look at that.
Thank you, Kylie. And could we have our next print, please? And this print has scored 77. Catherine, a comment for our photographer?
I feel this fits really firmly in professional practice. We've got some lovely connection between them, and we're seeing a nice shape. We're just in terms of bringing it to the next level. It's quite grey, and there's some softening through the skin that sort of goes into the tattoo, where it just feels too soft through there.
Thank you, Catherine. Could we have our next print, please? Okay, we have an 86, a silver with distinction. Okay, Sarah, okay, can I have a comment from you? That'd be great.
Absolutely, beautiful narrative. I know this is newborn, but that little girl poking out from the bottom is a beautiful element that adds to the family and, you know, the addition of the newborn to the family. I love the tikis, Catherine tikis in the background, and the border around the edge. But for me, there's a little bit of vignetting on the left I might not have been so strong with. And the border, I can't decide actually whether stronger contrast around the border would have maybe lifted that a little or if it would be too much, but certainly worth having a look and having a bit of a play with that.
Thank you, Sarah. Could we have our next print, please? Okay, this print has scored 77. Okay, so Catherine, just hang on there, Dean. So we have two of you capable of challenging here. Catherine had her hand up very fast, just in front of you, Dean. So, Catherine, you're on 83. We'll accept your challenge.
All right, so what an innovative presentation we've got here. Very brave and very bold representation of family. You know, we're seeing our family members as a family unit. We've got a very graphic presentation, very successful in the way we have black to white and then specifically the mid-tone, and very hard to get that transition and still keep that tidy. We've got a feeling of a flower type shape. So we have almost like the unfurling of the petals that we're seeing. Our eye is held very clearly, exactly where we want the story, and lovely expressions all throughout the family.
Thank you, Catherine. Sarah, you know I'm going to ask you to speak. You're on 68.
I am on 68. For me, this fell. The 68 score is a below professional practice. So to explain my thoughts on that and how I got there, the profiles are lovely. The fall away into the black is very. It's too perfect. It doesn't have any gradients or any movement around the family's faces. I felt it was a little bit uncontrolled. And then the white in the middle, it is very, very bright, but it's not a solid enough shape for a reason for being there. So if it was I can see the flower, I don't know, illusion perhaps, but it's not as solid or as large petaled as I'd like. Or if it was a family crest, more obvious to what that shape in the middle is being. I have seen this similar idea used before, so I don't find the innovation there. I do award the photographer, however, for trying something different and for keeping the symmetry in the image.
Thank you, Sarah. Mark on 77.
Yeah, I'm on 77 as professional standard. It is something I've definitely seen a few times. And when you do something like this, something that draws you into like a vortex and that feeling, you want to be rewarded when you get there. But when you get there, there's nothing there to reward you with in terms of the shape of the expressions are just nice, especially not the baby, not the other girl, but the middle girl is just kind of like doing that awkward smile into nowhere. So in terms of it's been done a fair few times, and if you're going to do something like this, you got to make it work and to really bring something new.
Thanks, Mark. Dean, you were also in the silver range.
I was, and what pushed me there and what I was rewarded with when I went up and had a close look was the consistency of the angles of the silhouette of each subject. So what I mean by that is there's this beautiful foreground eye and the subtlety of an eyelash coming from the rear eye in every single one of the subjects. Not only the newborn baby and their toddler and the bigger sister, the mum and the dad. That sort of level of consistency and perfectionism is what pushed me into the silver range quite convincingly. I think, what was it, 82? Yeah, so
Okay,
that's where I'm at.
Thank you, Dean. Back to you, Catherine.
The expressions, they're starstruck. They're starstruck at this new arrival. We're presented to this in a graphic way, tonally very strong with that. There's nothing in the centre because there is nothing else but the baby in their life. That's everything. And the finesse, the detail, when you get up close, you actually see a little glint in their eye. So we are seeing a little bit more that it would be lovely to see this go up into the silver.
Okay. Catherine, your score of 83 remains. Current score is 77. Judges, please rescore. And we've gone up 1 point to a 78. Okay. Thank you, judges. Good debate. Alrighty. Could we have a blank screen, please? That is the end of that category for now. For now. Okay, I'd like you just to hold with me for a second. Newborn judges, thank you for your time. We have some reviews coming our way, I'm sure. But yeah, just sit tight there for a minute and we'll be back in about 2 or 3 minutes to do our next bit. Okay, welcome back everybody. We're going to do some reviews. Judges, if you could all take your seats for me. All take your seats just for a second. Just sit down. Welcome back. How are we? Are we good? Okay, we have some reviews to do. I'm going to ask you a question and you're going to give me an answer. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, print handlers are ready. Correct. And here we go. Can we step up and look at our prints? Can we have our next print, please, print handlers? Thank you, team. Okay, this image is currently sitting at 84. Does it go to silver distinction? Yes, it does. We have a silver distinction. Could we have our next print, please? Okay, this print is currently sitting at 79. Does this print go to 80, a silver award? Yes, it does. We have a silver award. Yep. Could we have our next print, please? Okay, this print is currently sitting at 79. Does this print go to 80? No, it doesn't. This print remains at 79. Could we have our next print, please? This print is currently sitting at 84. Does this print go to 85? Yes, it does. We have an 85, silver with distinction. Could we have our next print, please? This print is currently sitting at 79. Does this print go to 80? Yes, it does. We have an 80, a silver award. Could we have our next print, please? Yes, that's... Okay. This print is currently sitting at 79. Does this print go to 80? Yes, it does. We have an 80, a silver award. Could we have our next print, please? This print is currently sitting at 89. Does this print go to 90? No, it doesn't. It stays at 89. Could we have our next print, please? Thank you, judges. And that is the end of Newborn. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to my panel chair assist, Greg Farmer. I'm Gary Cranich. I filled in for Janet Craig, who went off and did some other things. Thank you, Janet. And thank you, judges.